Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. If you're not subscribed, of course, hit the subscribe button at the top and like, comment, and share on all your social media platforms. This is part two to my horrible dating experience on Plenty of Fish. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you might want to hit part one. So you won't be like, okay, what is she talking about? Okay, I'm so glad that I did not decide to meet him. Okay, so I'm off work. I said we had talked and everything. Okay, so later that night, we talked a little bit more, and then all of a sudden, I think he asked me, yeah, he asked me, he says, do you have Skype? And I said, yeah, I do Skype. I said, I'm so glad you asked me because I was going to ask you that. Do you Skype? Or, 'cause I figured maybe that might make me more comfortable. And I felt like that might help me make my decision, a little bit easier as far as like, did I want to meet him right away? Okay. So he says, okay, let's Skype. So it was weird because I think this was Saturday night too. The next day, yeah, this is Saturday night. Next day, okay, it was Sunday 'cause I was getting ready to go to church, so that's how I remember. And it was so okay, so it was so weird because it was taking him so long to get set up and everything, and I'm texting him like, okay, I'm ready, and because I wasn't even gonna do it because I was like, okay, I'm getting ready to go to bed, but I was like, well, I guess we can Skype for a few, like, just for a few minutes, just for 5 minutes. I'm like, okay. I said, let me get my computer, so I went ahead, went downstairs, and got my stuff set up, got my webcam set up. I'm like, okay, I'm ready, and he's like, okay, we can Skype in a minute, give me a second, babe, and it was just really, that was another thing. He started calling me bae, and I think that, doesn't that mean before anyone else or something like that? Yeah, you know how we use that love terminology we got now, and love lingo, so he started calling me bae, and so finally we get on Skype, and then this is bizarre because instead of like immediately video calling me, like he starts to texting me on Skype. Like, it's like, if you are, for my fellow Skypers out there, you can, like, chat instant message on Skype as well as, video call. Okay, so it was bizarre 'cause I was like, why don't you just call? And I think I had called him first, but I didn't get any response. I'm like, why don't you just call? So instead of calling, he just decides to text me on there. So he's like, I think he saw my picture or something like that. Yeah, he saw my little, icon picture. Okay, he could say I was online. He's like, yeah, he's like, nice. He's like, by the way, nice breast, babe. And I'm like, okay. So already this is taking a turn for the worse, right? I'm like, did he just tell me I had nice boobs? And I'm like, thanks. Okay, so I just try to like move on or whatever. And he's like, I'm over here taking my shirt off for you. Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, I know you. I was like, I know you gonna be shirtless like you was in the pic. So something, you ever felt like some shit about to pop off? You ever felt that feeling on the inside like something ain't right? Like you just know something this is taking a turn for the worse. Kind of like they feel, I guess, how they look in horror movies when they get ready to die. When they know they ain't taking the wrong turn down the road, they're like, maybe we should have went this way, guys. I think we better turn around. Like I think we better go. Let's go. Like it was that feeling. Like I didn't. Oh my God, maybe I shouldn't be on his own. This man. This man is crazy. Something just was. I could feel it. All in me. Like something's wrong with him. I think he's a nut. And he's a kook. He really was out of his mind. So he was like, I think he asked me what size my breasts were or something. And of course, I'm like, no. I'm like, I won't be sharing that information. I'm trying to figure out, did he type that question or did he ask me? Eventually, he went ahead and called me like the next minute. So we're actually talking and video chat now. I'm like, finally, what the hell why would you text me anyway? Skype, ass. What was the whole point of Skyping if you're going to text you? We could have just did that on the phone. I thought that was stupid, So finally we're talking. So I'm like, okay, hey. So I see he's the same person he was on the pics. That was good. So I didn't get catfish. It was the same person. I'm the same person clearly. I'm like, hey, how are you? So we're talking. So it was kind of weird because I just didn't feel the same chemistry I felt over the text message. You ever talk to somebody over text and the conversation be popping, but then you talk on the phone or through Skype and you be like, mm-mm. I didn't really feel it. I don't know whether it was the breast comment or what, or the shirtlessness, or the just. I just wasn't feeling him no more. I just felt like we didn't have that chemistry. I was like, I'm having second thoughts, but I tried to keep the conversation going, try to be nice and stuff like I usually am. So I was asking him like, what are some of his short term goals, and he was saying he wanted to have his own gym and things like that, and um I don't know. I think I asked him like what are his views on relationships, and he was just saying about you gotta have trust and whatnot, and whatever. It just was. I was. You see how I feel about it, right? I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. I don't know why. And he was just talking about it's like saying he's an outgoing person. He likes to have fun, and and I don't know. He seemed really really interested in me. And of course, he's shirtless. Like I already expected him to be. And he started asking me what size my breasts were. He's like, babe, tell me. He's like, you can't ask me what size something is, and I'll tell you because it's you. You can ask me anything you want. He's like, it's just a question, babe. It's just a question. And I'm looking at him like, yeah. I don't think I need to share that. I was like, nah, maybe it's some other time. Maybe I'll text it to you later. Maybe. And I'm just, saying anything to play it off. But I'm really uncomfortable because I'm like, why you ask me what size my breasts are and all that kind of stuff, you know? And it was just weird, Then he told me I was a gorgeous BBW, and for those of you all, that's the more lingo for you. BBW just stands for big beautiful woman. Okay, so that's a compliment, but I'm like, oh, thanks, But it's just, I don't know. I just wasn't feeling him. He was just kind of weirding me out. So we're talking along, and we having this conversation, And then I noticed that he keeps kind of. This is where it takes. This is where hits the fan, honey. This is the time. This is the moment y'all been waiting for. Like, what did he do that was so weird? Besides all the crap that he was doing thus far, building up to the major mega climax of it all this time, I keep seeing him kind of moving his hand up and his arm up and down. And I don't know why he's moving his arm up and down. I'm like, what is he doing? Because he had on shorts in the beginning of the video. I saw him, he had his shorts on. He had like some basketball shorts. The one my brother would when he go outside or whatever, play basketball or around the house. So he had on shorts on. So I'm like, what is he doing? So he's kind of moving his arm up and down, right? And I was like, what you over there doing? So I kind of figured it out. I said, I know this mother scooter ain't doing what I think he doing. While I'm on the video with him, I know he ain't sitting here dragging off in front of me. Well, playing with himself, masturbating, shall I say. And I was like, this can't be happening. So I was like, no, I don't think he's that stupid. I'm like, is he that creepy? He can't be that creepy. Like, nobody's that perverted and that rude. And I was like, what are you doing? I was like, what you doing over there? I just had to ask because I'm like, what is he doing? And I could tell something was wrong, and he was like, then he stopped all of a sudden. As soon as I asked him what he doing, he's like, why you ask me that? He was like, I ain't want nothing. Why you ask me that, babe? I was like, I was like you scratching or something. You all right over there? He's like, nah, I'm good. I'm clean. I ain't scratching. I'm good. I was like, all right. And it was just the most bizarre thing. And so, at this point, I'm disgusted beyond belief because I think that he's lying, and I know he's lying. And I'm like, I'm about to get off here because I'm like, I gotta go to church in the morning, and I don't have time for this demon right here before me, this demon of iniquity, you know, sitting here playing with himself in front of me. Like, I don't have time for this. Like, I mean, this is hell. Like, what is this? I mean, it was just like Satan decided to F with me that night. Like, Satan came for me that night. I was like, did Satan come for me? I'm like, right before, on a Saturday night. On a Saturday night, I gotta get ready to go to church in the morning, and I was looking forward to church and everything, and I just, and now I'm talking to Satan on Skype. I was like, well, this don't make no sense. And so then, eventually, he's like, he kind of moves back, kind of adjusts himself back like that, right? So eventually, he moves on back and reveals that he is masturbating. So he's sitting there and right in front of me, penis out, and I'm looking at him and he's like, what? What's wrong, babe? And I was like, are you serious? And so then his whole personality like changes. I mean, he kind of, it's almost like he's mocking me. Like he's kind of, kind of real smart alecky and, kind of throwing it in my face, He's like, so what you think? I mean, I really want to know what you think about what you see right now. I mean, like, what, like, so tell me what you think. I mean, really. And he's like, you know what? Why don't you put it in a text? You know, why don't you text it to me in the morning? You know, and he just was kind of like almost laughing in my face, and it was so insulting. Like I was hurt. Like really, I was shocked. I was stunned. I've never been disrespected like that before. I was like, oh my god. I didn't understand why it was happening to me. I was just traumatized. You know, it kind of shook me up. You know, I was like, I wasn't ready. Now that's the point I was on with for real. Like I wasn't ready for that. You know, like it just really got me. You know, I'm like, wow. I think nobody deserves to be disrespected in that capacity. I'm like that was unnecessary. I'm like no. And he's like sitting there kind of throwing it in my face. So he finished jagging off, and I'm just sitting there stunned. I can't even move. So he finishes jagging off, and then why I keep saying jagging off? He finishes masturbating, and then he ejaculates, and then he's like, he's looks at me, and he has the his juices on his fingers, and he's like, just like that. He's laughing like some psychotic ass monkey, from an asylum somewhere. And I'm looking at him like, did he just escape the mental clinic or something? Like, did somebody just call a psychiatrist? I looked at it, it just was the most bizarre thing. It was just so, it looked like I was watching some kind of amateur porn scene is what it was. And I kept looking like, what did I click on to? I didn't understand what was going on. And he was like, what? He's like, no, really, what did you think? And he was like, okay, now I know you had to get up in the morning. I know you're tired. So I want you to, send me a text in the morning. Okay, babe? Let me know how you're feeling. Okay. And he was just so, I was like, who are you? Like you weren't really this person. You weren't that guy. And I was like, and I'm done. So I just ended that call right away. I was like, oh my God. I ended that call. I blocked him. Then a few minutes later, after I ended the call, he texts my phone and says, really, what did you see? What did you think you saw, babe? I mean, I'm curious. I was like, were we on the same Skype call? Like, really? So I blocked him, and of course, I never heard from him again because I blocked him on everything, on POF, on everything. I was like, oh my God. So I mean, I can't. I can't with these mother scooters, child. I'm like, you mother son of. I mean, I was like, you got some damn nerve. I'm like, did you sit up here and do that in front of me? And then it was disgusting. I couldn't even think. Like I had to go downstairs and talk to my mom. She had me up because she had got in from work late, so she was up late. So I went and talked to my mom and told her what happened. She was like, "I told you to get out that site." She was like, "All they looking for is booty. They looking for a booty call." And of course, the mom had to hit me up because I was like, "Oh my God," I was just hurt. Like I just had to sit there for a minute, like, "Oh Jesus, what was that?" I was like, that song by Tamla Man, "Take Me to the King." That's one of my favorite songs. I was like, "Oh, take me to the King." I was like, Jesus, come and get me. Cause I came with these. I can't. Like, I was like, no. Like, that wasn't supposed to happen. Like, no. Who does that? I never had that happen to me before in my life. I'm like, that was disgusting on all levels. I mean, there's almost no word for it. I'm like, no. I hope that has never happened to any of you all. If you all have had similar experiences to that. I hope not. Anything that's just remotely disgusting. Anything. These guys are pigs. Not all of them, but a lot of them are just animals. You're like, did you just? And oh my God! And I was sitting here like, I know that just that messed my spirit up. My spirit up really bad because next morning I went to church with my mom. I couldn't even focus. And my mom, like, during the service, she's like, you okay? Like, she tapped me, like, you alright? I was like, yeah, I'm okay. But I couldn't think straight. I was sitting there trying to enjoy the sermon and the quiet and everything, and I couldn't hardly function or focus because I kept thinking about a few hours ago what I saw and what I went through, and it was hard to focus because the Satan had came in and child, he just took over. I was like, he just damaged my spirit and just marked me all up and just all that ugliness, and I was like, what was that? I mean, it was whew! I was like, Jesus, please. Look at my hair. It's my hair. Tap my hair. The hair is how I felt. My nerve was like, ah. I mean, it was. Oh my God, no. Satan had his way. I'm like, oh Lord. But I just thought I'd share that experience with you guys. It took me a while to kind of come out with because I was like, I didn't even want to talk about it no more. That was a few weeks ago. How I've been feeling since then. Better, much better. Got to a point where it kind of traumatized me so bad. I would think about it every day. I would have flashbacks about it. Sometimes it still comes up in my mind, but I've gotten to a point now where I'm able to kind of function without thinking about it as much. You know, I can go about my daily life, do what I got to do. But it got me real bad. I go to work, think about it. It would just come up, and I'm like, oh my god, he would be right there, and I'm like, you sick bastard. Like I can't get that laugh out of my mind. That little, I was like, oh, you know, like really, it's crazy. I know I laugh about it, but it's just a way. I mean, it's better than crying about it, you know. So it just was sickening. I can't believe I went through that, but I mean, you know, they say everything happens for a reason. You be like, what was the reason for that? I'll never understand. I don't know. And who was on my phone? Anyway, I'm about to go. So y'all like, comment, share, subscribe. You know, and let me know your experiences and what you thought about that mess that I went through. Foolery. All right. Thank you guys for listening as always. Bye.